Hey everybody, it is Sam Williams, Dustin Anderson with podcast number 18. Here we go.
We're back.
All right, for those of you that don't know me very well, I'm a very OCD, like my stuff a certain way. Dude, what the hell was up with my countdown music?
It was different. It was more like a lullaby. Felt like I was, I don't know. Maybe like in a massage room. Not Derby podcast countdown, but I like the old one better.
I'm going to have Sloan build me one now. Sloan's keep trying to, hey man, I'm going to build you a countdown. I'm like, no. I really like the one that's embedded in the program. I really like it. And I always do like a practice run by myself about an hour out. I hit that thing and I'm like, what in the rotten hell is this? And they changed it. Well, welcome back, everybody. We had a week off last week, Dustin. I was out at my fence convention, and we had our huge party on Tuesday night. And so I knew we weren't going to be able to pull off a podcast, but Sloan and JP stepped in for us a little bit. So, yeah, it was good.
I seen you got to hang out with Van.
I did get to hang. Dude, he killed it in front of 1,000 people, which I know he got to kill it in front of 5,000 people at Rapid City. I'm not comparing, but it was pretty cool, man. I tell you what, I got to hang out with Van, and at the event we don't get to hang out much, and so we got to go to the bar with him and hang out, and we got to go just out to dinner. And the really cool thing was, so in the fence industry, and when you do the association thing, by the time you're president, like 4 years later, you get to be what we call fence tech. It's like Blizzard Bash or Gold Rush, right? It's the big show. So I was the fence tech chair this year. So, which is cool because I got to be the one that hired Van and we picked him. And so it was a lot of fun. Our company sponsored him. So he came to our booth after his keynote speech, and he did an hour-long keynote. And I'm telling you what, it was spot on. He did 3 of his poems during it. It was awesome.
Wow. Yeah, to be fair, I probably got to spend more time with him at Gold Rush than you, and the conversations that we got to have were really good and deep, and just, yeah, he approaches everything with a special train of thought.
So I met his brother. His brother come out with him instead of his wife. And so his brother, Rita, wasn't able to come with a prior commitment or whatever. So his brother came and did the cell phone video and just capturing the experience all in all. You want to talk about a hoot, man. So they were like brothers 16 and 17 in the family, or 15 and 16, I don't know. There was like 18 or 19 of them. But it was so cool to see his brother and the heart of a servant of, hey man, I'm just going to follow my brother around, make sure he's good this weekend, pick up his dishes, make sure everything. What an awesome family. I can't say enough good about the guy. I'm going to give it like 2 years, then I'm having him back. I mean, he's got to come back to Gold Rush at some point, right?
Yeah, definitely. So we had a big weekend also last weekend. You got home from Fence Tech. I think somebody on the UD crew ran at Capital City. Did pretty good. Yeah. Maybe your kid?
Maybe my kid. I didn't even get to go up and watch him because I flew in like Friday night, threw it up on the old screen there and got to watch a little Derby Nation and Capital City Carnage. And when they got the draw, I was like, man, hang on. Brandon and his crew run hard. I said, bud, you better come out swinging because it's better to be a hammer than a nail. But dude, Joe Molman, I'm telling you what, he was stuffing radiators.
And a guy that he doesn't run nearly as much anymore. I don't think, at least I haven't seen. And yeah, he had a bit of a resurgence this weekend. Chris did good. Joey had a great run, and then obviously what's that?
Bryce did great. Bryce Molman did good. I mean, they kind of had got in that fight right off the bat in the feature, and Bryce kind of become the punching bag a little bit, and he held in there. He did great, kept his composure. That team ran so well together. I tell you, I was texting Chris and Cactus. I'm like, all right, let's find another show. Give me a car built. It's time for me to get back in the car.
Here we go. He's back.
I'm not back yet, but I tell you what, I think it's time to maybe get him back in another car. But it was pretty cool.
Yeah, NLR getting the win. Blum,
Oh,
mute
man.
after taking the long right there. I mean, that heat with Markley. I thought for sure when Markley went after Dusty and it did not go the way he planned.
Yep.
He did the right shot. He did the 2 frame rails to 1, but the poncho did not like life.
No.
And I thought, wow, that might be enough to turn it. And then, John had lost. Obviously, we learned later the back of a block, and then Blum had issues, and then it went the other way. But yeah, they took the long way and kind of backed up their win from Bristol. And yeah, it was pretty
good. They look good all weekend. They look good. I mean, even it'd have been interesting. I think they would have done well, but I'm glad they didn't make it battle it down when you had the Kansas Outlaws and NLR in that B feature. They had already beat through 8 or 9 teams, and to have to beat the crap out of each other would not. I mean, it just ruined everything. So I'm so glad that that was a great call by Tim and Candace to say, hey, we're going to take them both. They've both been banging out there, and we're going to move them on. But man, that I don't know about a 40-car feature. That is, I mean, but they got it done in 2 hours. I'll give them that.
It started pretty tough. It was hard to watch at first. But then it was kind of like the normal big shows. You had these little spurts and these little fights where, it got really interesting, and then it toned back, and then it got in, it kind of went through its ebbs and flows. But the last 10 cars was just all great drivers. And hey, shout out to Elliott's for making it down to third place.
Man, they looked good all weekend too. Man, they had a great run in their heat. They did great in the feature. Man, it was great to see those guys get down there as well. Hats off to Farmer Funk and getting down there for Markley's team. Didn't have a lot of friends at the end, but man, he battled extremely well and just did great. It's interesting to see how the politics work out. That's the one thing we try to cut out at Gold Rush is, let's go 4-on-4 to get rid of the politics, but it's a whole chess match out there, and who's going to align with who at the end. And there when Eric tied into Chris, I thought, Chris, you better find that skinny pedal, bud, because you might be odd man out right now. But I mean, it was cool. But when John caught him in the doors, he was going to hit him. And so
it was coming. It was coming. So yeah, no, it was a good show. I mean, we talked about it a little bit with Chad 2 weeks ago, but we were pretty confident. I mean, that was the way that set up, the team names and drivers, that was going to be a great little team show, and it turned out exactly that. And I don't know if you could run the 4v4 with 16 with that build, but I think it might be one of the things where maybe a guy needs to go to 2 separate 18 deals so you can do it kind of like we did the bone stock. Yeah, maybe. I don't know, because I personally, I'm really starting to like that build. I kind of liking the cars bending a little more and stuff, and I don't know, it was fun. Did you get much on the Freedom Hall side?
No, I got to watch just a little bit of it. Everything, a lot of cars on the track, but what a great participation. And it's great turnout in the crowd. I was very impressed with the turnout. You got to remember that place seats like 18,000. So it was an awesome turnout for a first year event. And I think Robbie's got some traction down there. I think they're going to do great.
Well, Robbie's a really good dude. I actually reached out to him and tried to have him on with me and Sloan and JP last week, but I probably did it too late in the week, and he was just swamped trying to put his first show together at that scale,
Sure.
So, but I thought it went really good. See Ty Richards, who's always the old T24. He's always there at the end, and he was again. So the van heat looked pretty wild. What did you think about the removing lug nuts on the bag?
That was different. Chris DeFlorian and I talked about that a couple days ago, and Chris said, what do you think? And I said, I don't know. I didn't think it was a bad idea, but here's the deal. We've tried to reinvent the wheel so many times that, dude, I'm about done trying to reinvent the wheel. I mean, I'm just going, hey, I just want to put on great events. I don't want to break anybody's stick. Drivers, you guys take care of it. I don't want to reinvent the wheel anymore. I don't want to, we keep putting on brand new events and different formats and all this craziness. But you know what? Good for those guys for trying it. I didn't think it was a bad idea.
Yeah, and it didn't seem to cause huge issues. And then they brought the old dent enforcer back. I'm kind of in the same position on that, how I feel about it. But I give them credit. They're trying to do something to push the pace. So
they are.
Everybody's trying to do that, because everybody knows if you're trying to get people to purchase this stuff on TV, no one I mean, as much as even the old school guys like a chess match, everybody kind of likes the high action and get it done in an hour or something, so.
Absolutely. What'd you think of the van that tagged the enforcer in the doors? Said, you know what, sucker, you're going to hit me. I'm going to hit you back.
You're going to mess with me. I'm coming back. I did see a little thing of that. So, no, a couple of good shows. And now we get to look forward to Madison.
I guess we're here.
It's pretty close.
You know what? I've been watching the weather. I'm not going to jinx myself, but we might just sneak into Madison. Okay, I haven't seen all the way out yet, but at the end of the day, we will be in Madison this time. Right now, we'll have just ran our second event 2 weeks from now. It is crazy to me. That is crazy to me. 2 weeks from Thursday, we'll have been in our second
like
event.
It snuck up on me. Honestly, we've been doing all these Zoom calls and talking about it and scheduling stuff and sharing emails. And I looked at the calendar and I'm like, hey, that's like, it was on Sunday night's call. I'm like, well, yeah, we'll have to do one more call. And you're like, no, we'll already be there. I'm like, yeah, we will.
Yeah. I tell you what, I talked to Nicole today and, we're going through final changes of hotel rooms. And did we get everything under the sun ordered? My God, Christopher probably has 3 semis worth of showing up in Valentine right now. Cause I'm like, hey man, you're my staging area. I'll pick it up with the big trailer on the way through. So that poor kid's got, I don't know, 17 fans showing up because we're putting our own ventilation in there. And I mean, it's crazy what we have going on. Nicole says today, Dad, can we just be done with Madison? This is insane. I'm like, Nicole, this is why we don't do first year shows very often, kid, because they kick your tail. Gold Rush is like, oh, it's in a week? No problem. We'll be there in a week. No problem. We got this. We haven't even thought about it yet, right? Madison, I'm telling you what, it has been wild. And, if you were at the Clarion Hotel, it is there. They decided they were going to remodel. We had over 400 room nights at the Clarion, right? And they're like, oh, we're going to remodel. We're going to be closed during your event. Oh my gosh, let's get them to other hotels. So we got everybody to the Sheraton, the Fairfield. The city actually covered the difference in rate. So I thought that was amazing.
Cool.
So they're honoring the Clarion rate at the Sheraton and Fairfield, which I thought was absolutely amazing. We don't typically get that, but yeah. So a few know before you goes, Nicole gave me a list and of course I didn't write it down. So bag policy, they will be doing checking bags, but you don't have to have a clear bag. Cash and credit cards, we are going to accept them both. All of the super stock, big question on super stock inspections. We are going to, you pick which day you're going to inspect, either Monday or Tuesday, but you have to be through tech by Wednesday morning. So we will do heat draws on Tuesday night. So you get to pick which day. We're not assigning days. You know what? I've told the guys, get ready to be loaded up on Tuesday. They know that they can expect that. So nice thing is we'll get kind of the flow done Monday. Tuesday, we'll be ready to rock. So anybody who comes in Monday, we'll get you done. You will only go into the P2 barn on the day that you run. Super stock obviously will be in there all week, but everybody else will go in there the day they run. So we're going to have all that information coming out here on the Facebook this week. So I think it'll be good. I think Madison is turning the corner. The fear of our event has gone away. Oh my God, you're going to make a mess of everything is set in now. So it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I think that's a lot to the first time event for these places. I remember being in Illinois and even the first year at Gold Rush and just, yeah, it makes a mess. It's our sport between the smoke and the dust flying and everything. But it seems like people after the first year, they understand it more. They still think we're crazy. And then after year 2 or so, if you can keep going back to the same venue, that's when they're like, yeah, this is pretty cool. So
absolutely. No, and that's what I've told them. I said, just give us a shot. I promise you, we may look like rednecks, and of course we are rednecks, and I'll own that. I'm good with that. But at the end of the day, give us a shot. We are truly professionals. I promise you, we know what we're doing. Our drivers know what we're doing, and we will stay respectful. So if you're coming to Madison, let's stay respectful. Let's drink a lot of beer. Let's have a lot of fun. Drink a lot of drinks. Let's have a lot of fun and do our thing. But I'm telling you what, they are preparing for us. And be patient, guys. We know what a first year event is like. I can warn them a million different ways to have as much alcohol as you can have in your concession stands. be as fast as you can be in your concession stands. Brand new facility. Don't know how it's going to go, but just be patient because I promise you, we want this event to be the next Topeka, Kansas. We want this to be in 15 years. Go, hey, Madison is where it's at. It's a short drive for everybody, and we are going to make this work. So we're going in with open minds, and if you would have told me the other day I was going to spend $60,000 on fans, I'd have told you were crazy. But we are putting in our own ventilation system, so we'll see what happens.
In theory.
You know, I even bought a fog machine so I can make it look like Kyle's car and have sit out there and smoke and do all the fun stuff and then see if my fans can take it off. So, you know, we're going to have Kyle and Seal on here in a little bit. And it's kind of fun because they're behind the scenes right now. We can see them, but they just sit there and smile all the time. So that's why we love having these guys on.
You know what? You never told me this. I didn't realize this till 2 weeks ago, and I realized Markley watched the whole thing which is cool though, because then he can kind of interact with where we've been. So
absolutely. No, it's good stuff, man. So anything else we need to cover on Madison before we bring in Kyle and Seal here?
Boy, I don't know. It seems like it's endless, but I feel like we're getting there. So I think we should chat.
Parker Lazenby is going to be in the booth with you. That's going to be a blast. I think Parker's going to be great. Yep. Andy's going to be down on the track. So we're going to try mixing it up a little bit and work through the WeCrash stuff. I'm telling you what, we come out of Gold Rush and I challenged Colin in a big way. And I said, man, I'm telling you, I need this thing to look like it's on ESPN. I need it to look like it's just absolutely lights out. And man, I think him and Sloan took the challenge in a big way. And the equipment we have coming in, the replay techs, the technical directors, I think it's going to be a good time. I'm super excited. So if you can't join us, WeCrash TV is going to be where it's at.
Yeah, definitely. I just look forward to baby steps, but maybe more than a baby step. Maybe we can do some hurls or something.
Man, I'm ready to take a leap. Screw that baby step stuff, man. I don't do anything small. Here we go. We're going to bring Kyle in. You ready to bring him in?
We're good.
Let's do it. All right, we're going to show a quick video, and when we come back, we will have Kyle and Seal, our duo masters who win everywhere they go, and here we go. We have the duo masters in the house. What's up, guys? We having fun yet?
You guys are like ahead of schedule. I've been getting Snapchats of cars for a long time.
We do like 1 step forward, 3 steps back lately. So I like to be done early, so I know everything's ready to go. But we'll see.
Well, that's good.
Do you know what's great about his super stock car, though? They got to test my brace, Dustin. So he got to test it. It actually worked. He got to take his tranny back out, put a different tranny in. I'm telling you, it worked. 20 minutes, we had our whip, Kyle.
Yeah, I'm actually waiting on a new tranny to come in. So I haven't put it back in yet, but it was a lot easier than I thought it was going to be, taking it out. So
all good. Easier than it was to put it on the first time. We won't talk about that, but thank you for your help on that. So, duo car, how's everything coming there?
Pretty much done. Just got another new motor, so we just got to make sure it's all tuned in, ready to go. But other than that, pretty much done.
What is happening here? I don't know what just happened there, but I think my StreamYard's having a mind of its own and just kicked everybody out. But we're good.
You put your hands down and things are like.
Yeah, I don't know what happened right there.
So you're still dialing in a new motor on the 2-man car.
Yep. But it's pretty much ready. So
okay,
not too much worries on that one.
It always adds like I don't know, at least another day. It seems like when you're setting up something new or mess with the timing a little bit or. get it out and test drive it, and then it's still not quite right, or you want to switch some stuff up. A new setup is always a little extra work.
Yeah, for sure. And then I got another new motor in my the big car too. So it's just fighting the little bugs out of everything.
So if we got a new motor, that means Seal's working overtime, right? I mean, I just want to make sure we got Seal working overtime here to make sure we get her done.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, that's awesome. All right, so we're going to walk through a few pictures tonight. So this was the Gold Rush car. So walk us through Gold Rush, how that went, how you guys. So Seal, you're on the steering wheel. Obviously, Kyle, you're on the pedals, and who gets the shifter?
So I run that too. I just kind
okay. All right.
Keeps it simple.
So when Seal gets excited in there, Kyle, do you ever be like, I'm just going to hold the brakes and it is what it is? Or do you go, you know what, babe, here we go. We're engaged now. You just wreck the car if you want to wreck the car. What's going through your mind, Kyle?
We actually don't talk much in there anymore. So we used to talk a lot. Now it's just point a little bit. The only memorable moment that of talking was we got stuck on a wall one time there. I just remember Seal yelling, "Go, go, go!" And I'm like, "No kidding! What do you think I'm trying to do?"
You think I can't tell this?
Yeah, it's not a good spot to be. I know.
So would you guys consider this good? Because my girlfriend's like, hey, I want to get in a duo car. So would you guys consider this good relationship therapy or bad relationship therapy? What would you guys consider? I mean, would you consider it something I should try, or no? If only a certain amount of people could come out of the car alive?
I would say your first time. Yeah, you got to do it more than once to. Because the first time you're gonna be like, that was frustrating. Because you're the first two. Yeah.
I feel like it's a relationship builder.
Yeah.
It's like going to couples therapy.
Pretty much.
But Dustin, here's the thing. Alexa and I are both type A, and I think we might kill each other. Somebody's going to end up on the freaking gas tank by the time we're done. I don't know why, but I just have this feeling either I'm going to be in the steering wheel or she's going to be pushing my leg, one or the other.
Yeah, I could see that. I mean, I did it with Yanni.
You guys did. I got to be there for this one. You guys got to hang out with us all weekend. I'm sorry for that, but it was a great time. Brady Larson event, and this was an awesome run for you guys. And I'm telling you what, Kyle, I don't think you ever took your foot off the pedal. I think Seal was hanging on half the time going, holy crap.
I was scared.
You were scared a little? That's awesome. There's a couple times I'm like, they're going to flip themselves over. This is awesome. I mean, it was a good time.
Yeah, I knew the car was rusty, and we had a nice motor in there. And then we blew a tire early, and I'm like, okay, it's just time to have fun now. So you're not going to drive all the way to North Dakota and then not have fun. So
that's awesome, man. It was awesome hanging out with you guys. I'm telling you what, I think Cecelia, you are one of my daughter's absolute idols. And so we love hanging out with you guys. So we're getting ready for Madison. I'm going to show in one more picture here. And so this is just you guys having fun. This is what you guys do. And obviously big NLR customers and friends and family. And you guys this is what you do. So, let's talk to us through Madison. So you're going out in Madison, brand new facility. Is it going to be every man on the track's a dead man from you guys, or is it going to be, hey, we're in it for the win? What's your guys' thoughts? Because you've done both.
Just go into it, feeling the heat out kind of thing. The car is definitely not a Cadillac, so it's not the strongest car.
And so, we didn't get to strip Seal's Buick out, I'm assuming. No, the Buick hasn't got stripped yet.
It'll be fun. We got pretty healthy motor, so if we get to party, that'd be cool. So that's kind of the plan.
That's awesome.
I'm ready for it. I think it's an awesome car. I think it's going to work great.
Think so? Hopefully.
It's right
on
my
the car. Now, are you going to tell us what the car is?
That one's, what is it? 72 Oldsmobile, I think. I think that's
So do you like the C-channel back ends or do you not like the C-channel back ends? What's your feeling on the C-channel back ends? Some guys love them because they're a little bit more predictable and they pack in. Other guys say, you know what, they pack in too fast. What's your thoughts?
in a dual car, I'd rather have C-channel, just get it to go up and out of the way and just let it come in. Don't plan on using that end much in a dual car, so it's hard to look behind you. Two people trying to coordinate going backwards doesn't really work. So
It's not going to happen.
as long as it's not in the dirt, we're fine.
That's great.
I
Dustin,
like
where are you
C-channel
on
cars.
C-channel?
I like C-channel cars for one heat goes. It's like really, really like it. I agree with the car choice completely. I will defer on the backing up part. We backed that wagon up, me and Yanni but I like backing up.
Yeah.
So
Well, I wear like a lap belt, so I can look backward. But seals in a harness makes it hard.
can't do it.
We ran a dual car this last summer. It was a roundback wagon, so we backed up plenty, but it was tough.
That's great. What car was it when you guys, was it the Brady Larson car when you lost steering and basically, Kyle, you were steering it with the brake pedal and the gas pedal? Was that the Brady Larson car when you guys lost steering? Which car was it? I got to watch you lost steering in it.
Yeah, I think it was Brady car.
I thought it was, yeah.
Yeah.
So Seal was over there taking a nap. Kyle's having to do all the work. I'm telling you, you're gonna have to pull your weight.
That's probably the time when she said she was scared because you have no control.
Exactly. Exactly. All right, guys, we're going to play a quick Madison commercial. We'll be right back.
Get ready, Wisconsin. The most thrilling Demolition Derby event is coming to the Alliant Energy Center. It's Badger State Nationals, brought to you by Ultimate Derby, March 19th through the 22nd in Madison, Wisconsin. Watch as the toughest drivers go head-to-head in an epic battle of destruction. Over 350 drivers and over $250,000 in prize money. Who will be the last car standing? Join us and find out. Tickets are now on sale at www.ultimatederby.com/tickets. Bring your friends, bring your family, and experience the excitement live.
Well, that's going to be us, I guess. So what do you guys think of Madison? What's your thoughts there?
I'm excited.
Yeah, it should be cool. It's a lot closer to home than most shows, so
Yeah. I think it's crazy when you think you were. Go ahead, Cal. Sorry.
So we get to pit indoor with the super stock cars.
Yep. So what it'll be is basically we'll stage everything indoors. So whether you run Wednesday night or Thursday night, you'll already be staging your heat. So we're trying not to bring any cars in till Wednesday morning. So you'll go through tech, whether you go through Monday or Tuesday, we'll retech Wednesday morning. The nice thing is we've already drawn heats. So when you come back through retech, we'll be staging your heats when you come actually into that pit building. So they're going to have 24 hours security in there. Everything will be covered. Those cars will be covered all night long, every day, all night long. So what we're going to do is if you run, let's say you run Wednesday night, and of course you're going to be in the top four, right? I mean, that's a given. So you're going to be in the top four. We'll just give you that one. And so what we'll do is that all cars will be kept outside overnight, but we'll have 24-hour security in a cop car, basically watching those cars, make sure nobody gets in them. Everybody who qualified goes back inside. Everybody else goes on the trailer. So that's the goal. Then you guys can work inside, outside, wherever you're the most comfortable. Fire marshal just says, hey, kick all my doors open at least 2 feet. I don't care outside of that. So the facility's good with it. We're good with it. I bought more oil, freaking floor dry and cleanup and steam cleaners and shit to get stuff off concrete than you can imagine. So Kyle, when you get in the top four, don't make a mess for me, okay, man? Because it's going to have to be me that's out there Saturday night at midnight cleaning up your mess.
Yeah, I think the ultimate goal is just only have to weld plates on and go again. But it don't always go like that. I might be sitting on a trailer right away after.
No, I like the way you're thinking.
That sounds more like a dream than a goal.
Yeah, right.
Dustin, whose side? In a roll. We good?
We are now. What are you doing? You move houses? Did they slow your internet down at the new house?
Dude, I tell you what, I don't know what's going on here, but it's ridiculous. So no, we're on the facility side, Dustin. We're only welding plates on. Nobody's going to leak any antifreeze. Nobody's going to leak any tranny fluid. And we're on the facility side this time. But no, I am going to keep all of the repairs at one end. So we're going to keep all the repairs down at one end. And if you get to repair your cars from Wednesday night or Thursday night, basically we're just going to set up a pit stall, assuming that any of those guys that are coming back from Friday night have already got their stuff set up in there and can just fix again Friday night. So our hope is to advance 50 cars out of the first 2 nights, and then we'll advance 20 cars out of the Friday night. So that's the goal. And anybody who advances out of Friday night, and it's 20 cars running for basically $180,000. So should be fun. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
So I got to ask, John Muse and I have a bet. If we get more than 100 cars, I win the bet. If we get less than 100 cars, he wins the bet. I'm giving it back to somebody for a free entry fee. He's going to put it in his pocket and probably buy y'all drinks for the whole weekend, which is going to piss me off. But who's going to win the bet, Kyle? Are we going to get more than 100 cars? I got 175 signed up. What's your bet? Are you taking me or John's side? I just need to know right now whose camp you're in. And by the way, this may affect your inspection.
Yeah. I honestly, I think it'll be close to that 100 number. So
I do too.
Man, much, but it'll be pretty close to that 100 number, I'm guessing.
You know what? If anybody's on the fence and they're going to get me to 101, I may pay $500 just so I can beat John at something. So
enter our other car. No, it's kidding.
There you go. Hey, I'll pay you $500 to bring your duo car up. Just kidding. Oh, that's great. All right, Kyle, I got a couple more pictures for you. I need you to explain for me, man. What is going on in this picture? I'm just curious.
So a seal signed us up for these photo shoot things, and it was supposed. I don't know.
Kyle, are you afraid here or what? I mean, you're marrying Seal. Everybody knows we're all excited for you, but in this picture, you look scared to death. I'm so confused.
Yeah, the guy said something scary right beforehand or something. I don't know.
That's awesome, man. I seen it on Facebook today. You knew I was going to grab it. I'm like, oh yeah, I cannot let that picture go by. And then, so tell us a little bit about your high school career, Kyle. So you played sports in high school, so we might have a little bit of a picture of that too. So hockey guys, talk us through hockey. I'm not a hockey guy. Dustin's a hockey guy. So talk us.
It's state tourney week. I mean, look at the flow on this guy. This blood flow right there.
I definitely had the hockey hair back then. It's still pretty long now, but not like it was then.
No. You gotta grow it back out like that. We'll work on getting you a Duke Cannon sponsorship.
Yeah, there you go.
So Seal, did we like more of the flow back here, or does he need to keep it look cut? Yeah.
I like the long hair.
Yeah, you like the longer hair. Kyle, I think you have marching orders after tonight.
Yeah, she always gets upset when I schedule a haircutting appointment, but yeah.
That's awesome, man. So, guys, what is the thing you're looking forward to at the most in Madison? What are you most excited about?
I like seeing everybody.
Yeah. Agreed. Hanging out with everybody's a good time. That's awesome. I love it when you guys get there. Go ahead, Dustin.
I figured they were going to say the short drive.
Man. And why does everybody have a short drive with me? I think I'm like 20 hours away. First, get this. I got to go all the way from Dallas, Texas to Rapid City, load up a big trailer, go to Madison, go back to Rapid City, come back to Dallas. All y'all get a shorter drive than me. So, Kyle, if you want to make some extra money, I'll fly you to Dallas and you can drive that whole craziness for me. But tell you what, we always get excited when you guys get there. You come and hang out with the crew, and you guys are absolutely top notch. Anybody you guys want to thank?
Just friends and family a little bit, I guess, but
Absolutely, man. I tell you what, big shout out to NLR and everybody who sponsors you guys. Those guys are absolutely top notch, and we couldn't put on our events without them. I know you guys are great friends, great family, and parts vendors. So, guys, we're excited to see you in a couple weeks. God, a couple weeks. We're going to be there in like 10 days.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. It's too fast already, right?
I tell you what, I keep looking at my Amazon order sheet, and I think I have 21 active orders right now going, are they going to make it on time? Do I have to go to Walmart? Where am I at? Yeah, that's ridiculous. And when you order 6-foot fans and you wait till the last minute, those are not a thing that you can just get at Walmart. I'm just letting you know that, a $7,000 fan, you can't just go pick up at Walmart. But I'm telling you what, we're going to try to move some air in there. All right, guys. Thanks so much for coming on. It was great seeing you, and we will see you in about 10 days.
Perfect. Thank you.
See ya.
Awesome.
All right,
Thanks
see
for
you
coming on.
later.
See you guys soon.
See ya.
Dude, I tell you what, absolute class act.
Yeah. Derby power couple in the making, probably already there. They have to be towards the top of the amount of times the same two people have ran in a duo car. They've ran a lot because they don't just do your shows. They've done Capital. They've done local stuff. Like,
Absolutely.
they're all about it.
No, they are great, and I tell you what, we love having them on here, and it is just fun. I don't care win or lose. They don't lose a lot, but win or lose, they get out and they are shaking hands and excited. And so, funny story. I should have asked him about it. Funny story, because he's going to go back and watch the podcast, so I'm going to hit it now. But funny story. So we go to Whiskey City, right?
Yep.
I think it was like only first place qualified for Wheelman, maybe first and second. Kyle decides he's not going to hit anybody for his whole heat. I mean, dude, It got so bad that I was like, Kyle, you need to go back and watch because that was ridiculous. Like, finally, Chris is like, Dad, I'm going out to scream at him. This is ridiculous. And we didn't want to disqualify anybody out of we're first time back, right? We're excited about Whiskey City, just trying to get our feet under us again. Of course, you don't want to disqualify anybody. And I'm telling you what, so I asked him. So it's funny because I didn't know Seal very well. I didn't know Kyle that great. We push his car off and we're loading cars that night. And I come up to his car and I look over the dash and I'm like, dude, your gas pedal did work. You didn't have a block underneath of it. He's like, yeah, I don't know. I'm like, don't go back and watch. It was ugly. But I'm telling you what, they're in the money. They're do well. And they've hammered down ever since then because we said, hey, man, we got to set a tempo here. But they're great.
I'm kind of I'm a trunk guy. Love building trunks.
Yep.
Kyle builds a really, really nice trunk that's not only looks good, but is super functional 99% of the time. There's a lot of guys out there, not ripping on nobody, but there's a lot of trunks that they look really cool. And they look cool, and they just don't work, whether it be angle of the frame, body's too hard, whatever, And it's still Derby, and you take a tough shot, it can do anything. But Kyle does a really good job. Them rear frame rails most typically roll in, and it's kind of what he wants to happen most of the time.
And they're predictable. They go most of the time, go the same way. And that's what, within the first little bit, he's got that first initial roll. It's already coming. They look good. I'm excited to see those guys run in Madison, and it'll be great to watch. Our next guest is no stranger to winning, Cody Knuth in 726 Customs. I'm excited to talk to him a little bit tonight. We get to talk about the Gold Rush. They've had not a bad run for first 2 years. We'll say it's an okay run.
Pretty good run. He might tell you it's a bad run. He took not getting the W pretty hard. He didn't need to. He drove great, but he took it pretty hard. He really wanted that back-to-back bad.
The back-to-back in the first 2 years of a show is pretty stinking insane, but to get in the feature twice on a 4-on-4 all the way to the end, there's nowhere to hide. You have to outbest the other one. We've talked about some of the other different team formats out there that we used to have, where you throw 5 or 6, 7, 8, 9 teams in the feature. And, a lot of that was decided in the parking lot, where this here there's nowhere to hide. It's 4-on-4 all the way to the end. So it's both of them have their pros and cons, but, Knuth and RPM Redemption, they have it figured out for, a brand new format. I think they're doing pretty well with it.
You got to figure it out. Great builders, great equipment, good friends. They work well together. They drive well together. They've got a really good. They surprised me a little bit the first year. Like, I knew of all them guys, but they just really clicked well together, and obviously they got the win, but they earned it. I mean, the builds, the cars, the driving, it was all there.
100% agree. All right, man, let's get Cody Knuth on here. We're going to play a quick video, and we will get Cody on.
Cody Knuth looked like he's on the carnivore diet.
Look at this guy.
Welcome to the show, big guy.
How's it going?
Good, man. How are you? How is the parts business up there at 726 Customs?
Oh, it's busy.
Yeah.
It looks like all the dreams of becoming a big parts vendor, and now it's come to fruition, and now you gotta put the time in big time.
Yeah. It's been the last couple of weeks, 3-4 hours of sleep a night, and right back to it.
Man, that's wild. So, Gold Rush champions in 2023, second place in 24. Not a bad start to 2 years of Gold Rush. Walk us through that a little bit, and what went on there, and how it all transpired through. Let's talk about 23 first. So, brand new event. Kind of come in a little bit, I wouldn't say the underdogs, but less of a name team. And I'm telling you what, I think you drove off with almost 4 cars every time you guys took the track. So pretty impressive run for 23. So talk us through that a little bit, Cody.
It was, I don't know, Derek kind of brought it up, and, you know, the shows with the politics, we're just, you know, we're not going to be there. So when this format came about, it's, you know, you ain't got to win it in the parking lot, like you said.
Yeah. And you guys are confident enough to say, hey, we'll take anybody 4-on-4. Let's just take it out to the track and let's see what happens.
Yep. And actually building the cars late night, you know, me and Ethan would FaceTime late at night, and he actually got pretty cocky about it and went and cleared a spot on his trophy shelf with his 2 other trophies I think he's got, but
so he's hoping to have 3 up there.
Yep.
Oh, that's awesome. So we get to 24. You come in as the returning champion.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, when you sat at the tent, you guys get to pick. Obviously, you guys got pretty much pick of the tents right off the bat because you're returning champions. And you have, I get a list of like 17 teams who want to be around you and say, hey, we all want to be with these guys. What's kind of going through your mind? Did you come in and feel extra pressure? Were you like, hey, let's just get her done again? You know, now you got Devin Gronfeld's team coming in with you. You guys are pretty good friends with them. So what was kind of your thought coming into 24?
Well, we kind of just told them, you know, it's going to be us 2 in feature.
Yep.
And somehow that's what it came out to. I just was hoping that outcome was a little different, but
yeah. So I'm sitting
I
in
don't
the
think
tent.
there's a whole lot to hang your hat or to dip your head about there. I know you took it hard. We had a couple of conversations right afterwards, and we snapped back and forth. I know you wanted it bad, but I don't think you made any mistakes. It's just how it played out. I think you drove your butt off, and quite frankly, the build was top notch for the second year in a row.
Thank you.
Yeah, I agree completely. You know, so I don't get to go out and hang out in the tents very often and drink a beverage with you guys. But it was kind of fun the first night. I gave Devin a hard time about this a couple weeks ago. I said the first night I go out in my 4-wheeler and just want to see who's alive and kicking and doing whatever in the tents. And I go out there, and Ethan, Devin, you might have been there, Cody. I can't. It was all kind of a blur. And I said, of course, Ethan, hey man, what's your prediction? And he's like, well, right here, this is gonna be first and second. Man, I can tell you, I drove away and told you what you wanted to hear and said, oh yeah, that sounds good. I'm going, man, I got a long road on both sides of that thing to make that happen. Driving the feature that night, I was like, those son of a guns, they called that sucker from the first night. Pretty impressive.
Yeah, it worked out pretty good.
It did. It was awesome to see. So let's go to that first night. So I pull up to the track and I see this car sitting there the next morning, first morning, obviously, of inspection and everything. I'm like, man, Cody, such a great car. And he's like, yeah, it didn't look good bouncing down the highway at 55 miles an hour. So talk us through getting to Gold Rush this year. I've never had a car come off the trailer. Heard a lot of people who have. Talk us through that experience.
Oh, the hundreds of cars, I've hauled. And, of course, this one. We strapped it down just like we would any other, and we were on our way. And about an hour into the trip, I just had a feeling. I was like, we should stop and check straps. And for whatever reason, we didn't. And 20 minutes later, I felt it on the trailer and looked back, and it's nothing but smoke. Cars off the trailer, sliding sideways.
Oh, boy.
And all I seen in the mirrors, front wheels are laid right over. And I spent hours getting those set perfect. I was mad. Luckily, I was able to just jump in it and drive right back on the trailer. But I had a little work to do when we got there.
Wow. But it looked good by the time I got up when I talked to the guys. I said,
this is so embarrassing. The first thing, as soon as we pulled in, I'm like, we're putting new ball joints in, and I'm not sleeping until this is sitting right. That's
unreal. I remember, I think it was actually an early Derbies for you, New Year's Derby. And I don't remember who it was, but it was someone from up in our North Dakota range, like Shea Walden's crew or something, and we were heading to Nebraska to your show, Sam, the first New Year's show. And I don't remember who it was, but we didn't have snow that year up here, and the car come off the trailer and it ended up way out in the field off of I-29, and we had to go get it. Well, it was a warm year. It wasn't froze.
Oh.
They were stuck in the field, mud everywhere. When they got the car out of the field, out of the ditch, it took multiple vehicles, get them out. They went down to the next town and used like a pressure washer and just dirtied that thing up because it was disgusting.
Oh, that's wild, man.
So Cody, you're not the first person.
For as bad as it was, it couldn't have went any better. Like it didn't hit anybody. It didn't go in the ditch. Like it couldn't have.
It didn't roll it. It didn't tip it over on its top. It was good, man. I couldn't believe it actually came off because we were out there at 7:00 in the morning to finish up our blocks. And these guys are all standing around the trailer telling us this story. And the car looks perfect. And I'm like, dude, whatever happened, it worked out all right.
Yeah, as soon as we pulled in, I was like, yeah, I'm fixing this before I go to sleep or anything. I'm not going to have people pulling in here looking at it, front wheels laid over already.
That's awesome, man. So talk us through a little bit of the parts business. So we got a few of your parts on here. So obviously big known for the bumpers, right? Bumpers have been a huge hit. They've done extremely well, been at most of the major shows. Kind of talk us through, starting through the bumper thing. And was that one of the first parts for you, Cody? Or is that kind of something you hang your hat on? Talk us through that a little bit.
Well, I started quite a few years ago. Just starting with small stuff for, little cars, stuff that I was running. And I kind of told myself, the two things I don't ever want to really do are bumpers and full-size cradles. And now here we are. There's so much. That's the new one there.
That's pretty.
Last week, I got 6 of those out. Yeah, it was a long week last week.
And from both sides of the country, you told me.
Yeah, I just shipped bumpers to New York and then a cradle yesterday to Idaho. So,
Man, that's awesome.
So where does your background begin? Like before you were building Derby parts, what was your full-time gig? Where'd you come from?
I was a dry plant supervisor at the local sand mine, part maintenance there. And they just kind of up and closed the doors, moved to Texas. And I was kind of doing this on the side. Yeah. So I was like, I'm just going to give a go at it here and see what happens.
Man, that's awesome. So I heard we may have some plates coming to Madison. Josh might have called you on that, so appreciate you taking care of us there, man. So if anybody's repair plates are weak, this is the guy to yell at. I'm just telling you. Just kidding.
Did you order some AR for us?
I did. Drivers are going to hate it trying to form them.
Cody is taking care of us. So talk us through you got a new tank out there. This one is in your Gold Rush car.
Yep.
So I didn't get that picture on there, but you had a really pretty picture of the back of your car with this nice tank in there. So the parts business is going well.
It's growing. We got a couple things coming down soon. Darren actually helps me design some of this stuff, and we got some stuff we're working on coming up here pretty soon. So
we get to debut at Madison?
What's that?
We get to debut something new at Madison?
No, just this Madison style cradle. I already ran the full cradle at Gold Rush, so I know we're good.
Yep.
But nothing new, unfortunately, for Madison.
Okay.
So if somebody wants to place an order with you, Cody, how would they see all the different things you offer? What's the best way to place an order? What's the best way to keep you busy, my friend?
Right on 726customs.com.
Right. There you go, everybody. 726customs.com. Also have a Facebook channel.
Yep.
So people can go to Facebook, see the different cool stuff. I really like going through there. Obviously stole a bunch of pictures off there. And look at the different applications. What I like about it is you can see it in the car, you can see how it works, and you can see how it performed in the car. That's what I like about you, Cody, is you put it in your cars, your buddies' cars, and make sure it's all going to work before it ever goes to the market.
Yep. Yeah, that's the last thing I want is put it out there and be a catastrophic failure. So
absolutely. All right, man, I got one last picture. I got to throw an embarrassing one up just at the end of this thing just to make sure, but you got to talk me through this. I don't know where the hell your hand's going here, man, but you got to tell me what is going on with Devin Groenfeld in this picture. I'm a little bit worried.
That was a long night.
I tell you what, this right here was Gold Rush 2024.
Yeah, it was.
And that is the cool thing to me is for you guys to get on the opposite sides of the bracket and be able to do what you said you're going to do. And hey, it's like two rush ins that go, hey, we'll meet you at the quarterback. We'll see you when we get there. And that's what I felt like when you guys drove on the feature that night at Gold Rush 2024. Not a lot of people know how special it was, but it was pretty cool to see you guys take the track together.
For sure.
Man, that's awesome. Cody, anybody you want to thank? Anybody you want to shout out to besides 726 Customs?
Friends, family, my old lady and my girls for sure. My dad's been stepping in quite a bit and helping me out too. I'll probably throw out to Daryl actually, Ewing Engines.
Yep, absolutely.
You seen him
awesome.
Yeah, he just finished up the Madison engine. He's not real thrilled about it, but I think the fans and everybody else will be. So.
That's awesome, man. $25,000 Mad Dog's not a bad place to be, huh?
Exactly. It's either first or Mad Dog, so.
That's awesome, man. Well, man, we sure appreciate your support of all the UD stuff, all the WeCrash stuff. I know you're coming on as a WeCrash sponsor and everything else, man. We can't thank you enough. Sorry if Josh has been driving you crazy, but we appreciate you more than you know, my friend.
I appreciate it.
Absolutely, man. So again, 726customs.com. Let's keep Cody and the team busy over there. And we're gonna send as much as we can your way. Buddy, we will see you in about 10 days.
Sounds good, man. Thank you.
All right, see you,
Awesome.
Cody.
Good talking to you, Cody.
You too, man.
Thank you.
Dude, man, I tell you what, Madison's going to be fun. What do you think? 25-minute heats. Do you think it's going to be a little bit of drive around, feel it out, or you think it's just going to be, you know what, and get right from the get-goes?
I actually just talked to someone about this today. I think it's going to be a couple of heats. I don't know. Heat draw has a lot to do with it. If you end up, obviously, you know, we're taking 4 guys. If we get one of these heat draws where there's 6 of those elite guys that you kind of expect to qualify and move on, those heats could get really interesting, but they know what needs to be done. So at some point it's going to have to happen. And if you don't do it sooner than later, they're almost too good to take each other out in the right amount of time. So those heats are interesting. But there's also some heats I think might take 15 minutes.
Yep. You know, on the other side of it, if we only get 100 cars, we may take 4 in a Mad Dog. We may just say, you know what? If you're a Mad Dog and you've earned it, we're going to take you out of there. And so that's what's going to be nice. And, you know, we keep talking about the same format at Gold Rush. And I really like that 180 number, trying to get 120 to show up. It makes for a really good 4-day event. And so I'm really excited to play this one all the way out and keep it to where we fill it when we need to and just make it a really solid event, pay out a ton of money to these guys and make it happen. So, you know, everybody keeps saying, oh, $100,000 team show. We're paying out $50,000 for first, $25,000 for second, $25,000 Mad Dog. Guess what? That's $100,000 for 3. So it's good money. It's gonna be a good time.
It's really good. And I know just from behind the scenes, you've talked to me about wanting to do this format for probably before I even got back involved with WeCrash and all. It's probably been 3-4 years. We had conversations like, hey, I want to do something like this. It's different. No one's done it. So it's going to be cool to see it come to fruition real soon.
Yep. And again, we can work out the bugs after Madison and it'll be well polished by the time we get to Gold Rush. So great show tonight. We're going to throw out a video real quick here to thank our sponsor. Gray Area Demo Parts is sponsored this one. We're going to have 726 on here in the next couple of weeks. So tonight is Gray Area, and Ralph and everybody up there. Thank you for your sponsorship. We're going to throw on just a quick 7-second video here. So, good show tonight. It was awesome to see Kyle and Seal. Got to talk through Madison a little bit. Nicole will have all the information out this week for all of your questions on Madison and get everything answered. So, we're going to have maps of the facility, layouts, where to go for your camping registration if you've registered a camper, where to go for everything. So, man, I don't know if I'll ever do full ticketing, full registration, full everything again. It's been a little bit. But, you know, when you go and you register for another event and you go through a Ticketmaster, you go through one of those, you're paying almost 30% in fees. By us taking on the ticketing ourselves at this facility allowed us to do that, we're paying like 8%. So we're trying to keep the cost down.
You can turn around and use that towards the extreme payout.
Exactly.
Ticketmaster sucks. Like it does. I hate to be mean, but it does suck. They take they're worse than a credit card percentage wise. So no, I mean, it's been a lot. I know you've worked a ton on it and the registration and the tickets and even the drivers, the form for, I'm drawing a blank.
No, you're good. All the waivers and all that kind of stuff. The driver waivers. Yep. So you're going to see a lot of cool new stuff. You're going to see iPads everywhere, right? We got iPad stands for the waiver systems. We got iPads for all the ticketing. So bear with us. Brand new systems everywhere. But I'm telling you, the reason we did it is to save you money. It's not because I'm putting any of that in my pocket. It is purely giving it straight back to the fans. You're not paying it. So we're going to see how it works. Might be the last time I do it. It's a lot, but it's good. I'm always up for a good challenge.
Yeah, definitely. No, but to recap, yeah, great show. Talked about the shows we missed, this weekend. Got to talk to
Yeah.
some people, and I kind of want to give a little shout out. I seen the guy. It's unreal. He's been through so much ups and downs, but Skinny, send a little
Man.
prayer and a little shout out for Skin Dog. I seen he was going through it again and back in the hospital and waiting for a hospital bed, and there was a lot going on there. So. I'll tell you what, I've seen a lot of people go through different diseases and the cancers and all that, the terrible stuff. And very few can say they've been as strong as him and fought through it and still lived a pretty damn good life.
Man, I tell you what, nothing but pure respect for him and his family. And I mean, if there's anything we can do, I mean, we all post there, prayers and all that kind of stuff. And I mean, Skinny, you're definitely in our prayers tonight. And, we're hoping that you get settled into the hospital there tonight and get everything back in. I know there's, kidneys were out of whack and everything was like, all that kind of stuff. So, nope, seen that as well today. And praying for you, praying for Gary Russell. Awesome job. Huge shout out to Smash It. My shout out this week is to Smash It and everything they did for Gary Russell's family. And I think it's pretty awesome what they're doing down there and trying to give back. Gary, we know that you're still healing, going to come out of it. And we're praying for the whole family down there. So with the boys and everybody who's down there. So awesome job, Candace and Tim Jr. for everything you guys did there at Capital City for Gary. So pretty cool stuff.
Yep. That's the Derby fam coming together. So
it is. Well, man, one more episode before we will be in Madison. We'll have one more episode next week and then it's off to Madison and we'll have 3 or 4 episodes from down there and it's time to roll, man.
Heck yeah. Well, I'm going to throw this out there. Anybody that actually finishes the episode all the way to the end right now, drop in the comments somebody you want us to interview before Madison, and maybe we'll grab them for next week.
And if you make it to the end of the episode, we will pick somebody out of a hat and we will send you a free UD hat. So we will send you a gift. If you put down who you want, that means you made it to the end of the episode. Nicole will draw one out of the hat and draw a name out of the hat, and we will send you a gift. And if you're going to be at Madison, we will just give it to you there. So hopefully we get to give that to somebody this next week.
Heck yeah. Well, wrap it up, and we'll see everybody in about a week, huh, Sam?
All right. We'll close her out with a video here, and we will see everybody next week.